What's love without loyalty? Could I trust you while I chase this money? I just need my mind at peace. I need some sleep. No, I be in these streets.
Just got unloaded. Just called me. Trying to get my paperwork.
Yo, what's happening, man? We back with another one, you feel me? Hold on. Let me run my parlay real quick. Yo, what's happening, y'all? Been a minute, man. Try to bring y'all up to speed. What been going on with your boy? Hold on, let me grab my phone. Yeah, man. Bring y'all up to speed, man. Finally back rolling. This week right here was my first full week back rolling since I got my truck out the shop. You know, I was running in between, like, while my truck, they had to order the part, my harness and shit for my fan. So that's the last time I dropped my video, and I have been having problems with my fan and shit. And I dropped that video at the crib. I was at the crib when I dropped that video. But the part was on back order, so shit, I had to wait like 12 days. So I was like, I'm gonna go pick my truck up and run in between that, you know. So I just won't be going in all type of debt while my truck was just sitting waiting on the part. So I went and picked the truck up, ran for like a week and a half. They called me, they had the park, and I took the I finished what I was doing that week, took the truck back up there, got the part put on. Right now, can't remember what day that was right off top. You know, I've been running all night, man, so bear with me, y'all. You probably can see it in my eye, nigga, tired of shit. Ready to get me some sleep, but I said I'm gonna get this video in, so, you know, it's been about a month since I dropped the video, so I said I'm gonna go ahead and get it in no matter what. But yeah, I'm down here at Saddle Creek and Lakeland, Florida. You know, I ran this week, took off Monday. Grabbed a load out of Lee, Florida. That load paid me pretty okay to leave Georgia. You know, leaving Georgia going to Texas, you ain't getting much. But I think I was able to get 1,600. That was pretty decent. You know, coming out of Georgia going to Texas on the Monday. So it started my week off pretty good. So I loaded that Monday morning. Shout out to Texas, and delivered that Tuesday around like 2 p.m. And I had another load I booked from out there coming to Kentucky. I actually booked it when that same day. I want to say that Tuesday morning I wound up booking that load. You know, CloudTrucks have like they own freight out there in Louisville, Texas. So shit, you know, I was looking for a load. You know, I was looking for something with a good rate coming back across either the Tennessee area, Kentucky, or maybe Ohio or Indiana. So the email came through. They were like, yo, we got hot load. We got, you know, to today only, you know, we got this load. They have a lot of loads coming out of they CloudTruck. Well, they ain't CloudTruck freight. I think the loads come from Snyder, and I think Snyder, they broke on my from Snyder, and it be just like you might see like about 12 to 15 loads from Louisville, going from Louisville, Texas to Florida, Missouri, Maryland, New Jersey, Kentucky, you name it. You know, they just be going all different places out of there. And they some kind of AC units. I done did 2 of them. They some kind of AC units. I took some to Florida. But yeah, so he had the rate on it like 17. So I was trying to get like 19. I was like, you know, I can do it. You know, I was looking for one anyway, 'cause I was about to be empty, like around like 2 p.m. that day. So I was looking for something going back across anyway, paying me about 2. But he was like, you know, he can do 18. So, you know, I'm like, run it. All right, I can go on and grab it and get the roller. All right, so I got that. Louisville, Kentucky to Louisville, Tennessee. Louisville. Nigga tired of here. Louisville, Texas to Kentucky. To Louisville, Kentucky, if I'm saying that right. But yeah, man, I got that for $1,800. Then I wound up booking something like 140 miles over there in Kentucky, where I delivered at some place called Burnside, Kentucky. So I went and picked that up, and that was paying me $16. Yeah, that paid me $1,600 coming down to Lakeland, Florida, like $2.11, $2.11 a mile. I was trying to get 2, but you know that put me at my 5,000 mark for the week. So I like, fuck it, I'm gonna just grab that, run that down. You know, end my week, go home, enjoy the weekend at the crib, and try to do it again. You know what I mean? I already got 2 loads booked for next week. You know, that I'll be going back out to Texas. You know, I kind of like going out to Texas. It's kind of, you know, I can kind of be halfway, you know, revenue-wise in a week by just shooting out there, you know what I mean? Or at least, you know, set the foundation for the week for going out there. Because when I get out there and cut by cross, you know, I'm about there. I just have to find something to put the icing on the cake. I could have did more than $5,000 if I wasn't trying to go home. But lately I've been going home like every weekend, every Friday, come back out Monday. But yeah, instead of getting that $1,600 coming to Florida, because you know I'm going to have to head back home more than likely, back up to Valdosta, Georgia. But instead of coming this way, I could have went somewhere like, I could have went back to Texas. There was a lot of stuff leaving Kentucky, going back to Texas, paying $2,000. I could have did that, you know, and then possibly set myself up to make a little more money. I could have left Texas and shot back to Kentucky, or Ohio or Georgia, you know, for the weekend. So yeah, I could have probably touched 6. You know, depending on what I got, I probably could have, yeah, touched 6,500 this week, how it was set up, you know. So that's why I'm gonna try to start all my weeks out and try to shoot to Texas, because you know, it set the week up good. You know, you can run all day Monday, pick up early Monday, run all day. You know, by the time Tuesday comes, shit, you know, you about what, 300 something miles from, you know, a 1,000-mile trip. Let's start Monday, so that'd be a good start. So yeah, I'm gonna probably rock that for a while, and see how that goes. See if I can keep that going. But yeah, that's pretty much what it been. My truck been running good. You know, I wind up, you know, they fixed it. They put the harness on. They had to redo the whole engine harness, so they had to redo all the harness. I got to Louisiana. I was by the Slidell, Louisiana, and it started raining real hard Monday night, and my windshield wiper stopped working. I thought maybe my motor went out, because I remember replacing one on my Cascadia back in the day. So I'm like, damn, you know, this truck, you know, it's 2024. It's kind of new for, you know, a windshield motor to go out like that, a windshield wiper motor to go out. So I'm like, shit, you know, I knew rain-nets, you know what I mean? I knew this Hispanic guy taught me a trick about spraying rain-nets on your window at a BMW back in the days, and I think my windshield wipers had stopped working or something. And he was showing me how to spray rain-nets on it. He was like, you know, I drove all the way to Florida, man. You know, I drove all the way to Miami off rain-nets. You know, my windshield wiper wasn't working. And so ever since then, you know, I kind of knew about that little trick. But I didn't never have to use it. You know, I kept pulling over, trying to wait till the rain stops some, so I can just make it really to a safe haven. I got to a rest area right there before you get the slide there, but it was so full, really wasn't nowhere to park, even pulling out on the outside. And I really don't even like sleeping on like the outside of the rest area, because I done got tickets, I done got, state troopers done gave me tickets for that. So yeah, y'all be careful with that. I was in Virginia when it happened to me. He gave me 2 tickets. I want to say he had one for not having triangles out and for sleeping on the side of the road. That's what he called it, side of the road. But all of us, I think he woke up probably like 4, 5 drivers, that was behind me, in front of me, just to give us tickets. And that ticket was not $20 a piece. He told me they were gonna be $20 a piece. That ticket was like $100 a piece, So yeah, y'all be careful on that. Nobody want to be giving away unnecessary money. But other than that, man, I made it up to Slidell. I went up, I was looking on the GPS and it was showing me like it was a truck stop. It wasn't showing the TA. I guess cause I had it like en route, show me every truck stop en route, and that wasn't en route, even though I'm like 3-4 miles from the motherfucker. Like, it wasn't en route because I was gonna, keep off on 12. So yeah, I was going down and I noticed, like, damn, I seen the sign say TA. So I'm like, damn, why my GPS ain't show me that shit? Yeah, I'm right here. Like, I think I seen it on my phone or something, on Mudflap or something. I seen it, and I'm like, shit, it be right. Shit, I'm good. I can make it though. So I got that shut down. It was like raining and lightning super hard. Like, man, that shit was crazy. That shit was bad. But I made it there, shut down. Got me a good break in. Left the next morning and went on, to go deliver my load. And yeah, pretty much. What else I had wanted to tell y'all, man? It's been about a month. I need to start writing down stuff because I be having a lot of ideals, out through the weeks. Like, damn, yeah, that'd be a good thing. That'd be some good information to drop right there. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm trying to. I've been kind of, trying to weigh out my options. You know what I mean? Because I like it at CloudTrucks and everything. But they fees is a little. The fees is not. I ain't saying they high as hell, but my insurance, having to get my insurance separate from the cargo insurance, the 5%. I'm at about. It's put me around about $1,500. So, it's possible, man, for me to find another company. I probably would end up finding somewhere where I can get a break on my fees, because CloudTruck they're not set up for somebody who got significant high truck payments. You know what I mean? They really not, because they have their own portions. I'm gonna pay $388 a week out the gate, no matter what. I'm gonna pay $388 a week just for CloudTruck fees. Yeah, that $100 go away, so it'll go down to like $288 once I finish my escrow. But that's another 8 weeks, another 2 months. So you gonna come over here and pay. You're gonna come over here and pay that $388 unless you pay it all off early. You're gonna pay that by 4 months, until you get the $2,000 escrow paid in. But I'm at like $388, so I am. So it'll be $288 once that's gone away. So that's not so bad. You just have your 18%, your 5% insurance, and your 13% line haul. It's not the worst, but I feel like I can probably get a better deal with another company that don't charge a trailer fee. Insurance is not as high as I'm paying. Between my physical damage and the cargo insurance, I'm around $1,500. I probably can cut that in half. And then getting rid of the truck payment, that's probably another. That's probably about $900 right there within they self. Just those two. You know what I mean? That I probably could save myself a month. Having a high lease payment, that can be very convenient if you can get with a company that got lesser fees, and also the 83% line haul. You know, 90, you know, trying to get around closer to 90 cent would be key, you know, or someone who pay you cents per mile. I know a lot of people don't believe in cents per mile, but you know, I'd have made $25,000 to $3,000 take home off of cents per mile consistently for months at a sin before they, you know, started changing the fees and taking away stuff and saying they losing money here and there. So yeah, it's possible, especially if that company got a cheaper insurance. You know, I've been looking at a company. I came across a company called Hellwig out of Terra, Texas. They're like a refrigerated company, and they seem like they may not be a bad fit. Only thing I don't like about them is you have to be out 21 days and you got to deal with a dispatcher, and they got cameras. They got facing cameras, and I don't like facing cameras. I definitely don't like dispatchers. I find dispatchers to make jobs way harder than they gotta be. So I don't really know if that would be a good fit for me, you know. But I'm not trying to rush and leave Cloud. You know, I probably will talk to my specialist person I got over here to see if it's anything they can do, because I probably could get my own cargo insurance with physical damage, like all that tied into one. You know, I probably can put all that on one and be paying a little bit cheaper, you know, to save me on that. I don't know if they would let me do that without having my own authority. I don't know, since I'm running up under their authority, would I have to have their insurance, or could I have my own, you know? So, because, you know, paying two separate, you know, I'm paying more. It's costing me more money to have two, you know, because, you know, kind of find out that they make you get your own physical damage yourself. And I found out that was because, like, if you go out and have a wreck, that's only gonna be on you, you know, unless you damage the cargo or something where they have to file a claim. But if you go out here and hit some of your truck just wreck, you're gonna have to file that up under your own physical damage. It ain't gonna affect the company unless you know, hit somebody, and it's probably still gonna only be up under you. You know, I think the only time they insurance gonna have to get filed is if something wrong with the freight. You know, so it's most of the time, you know, if you get in an accident, nothing, the freight don't be touched, it don't be harmed. So, you know, them keeping them two separate, smart on the company, but it's kind of not that, you know, convenient for us, because it's costing us more money. When I feel like if they insure us up under the company with the 5%, if the 5% could act as the cargo insurance and the physical damage, it'll save us a little money. Some of y'all got older trucks, so you ain't paying but like $100 and some a month for that physical damage. You probably only got $30,000 coverage on your truck, you know, so you probably ain't paying much. But my truck value at $146,000, so I'm at $486, right at about $500 a month. So that's significant when you got a high truck. No, everything counts, you know, like every hundred, you know, a couple $100 you can save, it adds up on your take-home pay. So, like I say, you know, me grossing $5,000, I'm trying to put myself in a position where I can take home majority of that, you know, as much of that as I can. Cause it ain't doing me no good if I can go out and make $5,000, $10,000, but you know, I can barely bring home $2,000 of that, you know, $2,500 of that, you know, like. The more money, the more expenses I can get rid of, the more that I can bring home, you know. So that's where I'm at with it right now. I don't know. I done looked at a lot of companies, and I done compared a lot of companies to Cloud, and Cloud is they outbeating a lot of companies. Even when you speak on the 5% that, you know what I'm saying, you know, I wish they can put the physical, even when you speak on that 5% it's not the worstest deal. You might be like, damn, it dude, a hypocrite, he don't know what he's talking about, it's as bad as good. But nah, it's because, you know, if you don't run as much, they only charge you 5% of your line haul. So if you don't, say you come out one week and you don't do but $2,000, you know, it's only going to take 5% of that, versus some companies that got they insurance set up where no matter what, no matter if you do 2,000 or 5,000, you're gonna pay $200, $250 a week for that insurance. That's how most companies set up. So that's why I say that 5% ain't all bad, because in that case, it works out in the benefit for the drivers. So it's not all bad. It just, like I say, drivers who got truck notes that got your truck worth a lot of money, your physical damage is gonna be pretty expensive. So that's why I say, you know, I think it'll be best for me to find a company that's set up for, you know, somebody with more of a significant high truck note, that, you know, where they can put all that insurance on one. You know, you're not paying two different insurances, and they're not trying to avoid, okay, if you have a wreck, I don't want you to file that. You know what I mean? Like a sin, everything was on one. I paid like $234 a week, you know. So that was, I didn't have an additional $500 bill, you know, for physical damage. But like I say, you know, they do, I have heard of CloudTrucks having a program where you can, if you got your own authority, you can run up under your own authority, but run up under something like, well, you, I guess you'll only be charged 5% if you got your own authority and you hook on with them, and run their freight and run up under their program. I'm guessing, I don't know the whole details about that, but like I said, I can get my own insurance, and probably drop their 5%, and then I won't have to worry about trying to pay a physical damage, because I got everything tied into one. It'd be cheaper than $1,500 a month, what I'm saying. I'm averaging $5,000 a week. That's why I say $1,500, because I'm having to pay them 5% out of that $5,000, you know. So, which is, that's gonna put me at $250, around $250 a week, you know, for 4 weeks. You know, you do that, you know, it's like 5% on what, 20,000, you know, if I'm averaging 5 a week. So that's why I say, I'm gonna see if I got any wiggle room there. I'm gonna speak with someone, you know, before I just make my move and, you know, leave. Because like I said, I like their program, you know, I like how everything's set up. Nobody don't bother you. You go on and do your job. Nobody ain't calling you, bugging you. Long as, you know, you picking up, you can let anybody know you running late on something. Everybody try to work with you. You know, they got the CloudTrucks program out in Louisville, Texas, where these loads come out every week, and if you in that area, you can grab some of them loads. All of them paying over $2 a mile. Some of them paying even close to $250, $280. Somewhere in them loads is dropping hooks. You can go in there and drop and hook them loads as well. So, you know, you ain't wasting no time. It's already ready. You go in there and drop and hook, you out. They like loads. They like AC units. If y'all ever been to Train in Vidalia, Georgia, they pretty much like those AC units, but they're in boxes and shit. And, they pretty light. They stacked on the floor. It don't take them that long to unload them. Pretty light. That load like 24,000, you know, that I took over to Louisville, Kentucky for 1,800. You know, it's cool, man. You know, I like stuff like that. But yeah, you know, they got that right there, and that's pretty dope. And every 4 loads, you get a bonus. I think the first bonus is $250, and the second one is $500, and then it's like $750, then it go to $1,000. Then they claim it's no cap, but hey, we gonna see. I done ran 2 so far, you know. Maybe I get 4 in soon.
What's love without loyalty? Could I trust you while I chase this money? I just need my mind at peace. I need some sleep. Know I be in these streets.